For this special effect, we're going to have the illusion of a flying vehicle. And the way this works is it uses the animation technique that you'll see on TV. For example, if you ever watch Scooby-Doo or any of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, you'll notice that the characters appear to be running. But if you pay close attention, only the background is moving. So the next time you watch Shaggy and Scooby running from that ghost, pay attention to what happens. The background will scroll over and over again, and you will see the same grandfather clock pass by like 40 times. So we're going to do the same thing now. I'm going to go to File, Import to Library, because we're going to bring in more than one piece of art. And we're going to go to our Special Effects folder, which is located in the Resources folder. And we're going to bring in Outer Space. And we're also going to bring in the spaceship. Now, to select both of these, I need to hold down the Control or Command key. And now I'll go to Import to Library. And now I have my two pieces of artwork here. So as usual, I like to stay organized. I'm going to name this one, this layer here. I'm going to name this Spaceship. And I'm going to create a new layer. And we're going to name this one Background. And let's also rearrange these so that they're in the right order. So I'm going to click and drag Background so that it's underneath the Spaceship layer. Now let's go ahead and drag our spaceship to the spaceship layer. So let's make sure you're on the spaceship layer and select the first frame and just drag the spaceship right there to the stage. Let's also use our free transform tool to scale it down a little bit, like so. And now what we're going to do is we're going to lock this layer. And we're going to select the frame on our background layer and drag the outer space footage or artwork to the stage. Let's also zoom out a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Let's go to the View menu, zoom out, and I'm going to move this out of my way. And now I'm going to grab the rulers by going to View, Rulers, and we're going to drag out some guides right from the rulers. This is very important because we need to know exactly where the boundaries of the stage are so that the background will be in the right position. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use our free transform tool and really make this a lot bigger than it's supposed to be, like this, because we need to have this thing flying around in space. So let's go ahead on the first frame of background and move the background so that it's right at the edge, like so. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hide the rulers, and let's go to like frame, let's say frame 100 of the timeline. So let's go ahead and scrub with these buttons here. We're going to go to about frame 100, and we're going to press F6 on both of these layers like this. So all I'm doing is I'm clicking and I'm dragging like this to get both of these. Press F6 to extend them out. Okay? Now what we're going to do is on frame 100 of the background layer, we're going to simply hold the Shift key down and move it across like this so that the other edge is at the beginning like this. Now we're going to click anywhere within the background layer's timeline, and we're going to insert a motion tween. Okay, now let's go to our first frame by scrubbing the timeline, and I'm going to zoom back in. Now let's press Command or Control 2 on the keyboard to center, and let's press Enter or Return on the keyboard to test the animation out. Now it looks like the spaceship is flying, but the background's moving. Now, as Emerald says, let's kick this up another notch. I'm going to lock the background layer and unlock the spaceship layer. And we're going to animate the spaceship a little bit, have him moving around, just to add a little bit more flavor to this. So we're going to actually move him around. So we're going to add a frame, a keyframe to frame 20 of the spaceship. And let's add another keyframe to frame 45. And let's add another keyframe to frame 75. Don't forget, I'm just pressing F6 on the keyboard to do this. And now let's go ahead and select all the frames by clicking on the spaceship layer. And we're going to add another motion tween. Now, once again, let's go ahead and go back to one frame at a time. And let's move this up a little bit on this frame. Let's go to the next keyframe and move him down a little bit like this. Go back to another frame, move him back up a little tiny bit, and so on. And now let's go ahead and test this out. Press play or enter, and now you have a very cool flying vehicle illusion Awesome.